and happy Wednesday, happy Tuesday. Yeah, let me get my days straight. It's been such a busy start to the month, and here we are already 9 days into September. Um, Hopefully everybody's doing fine. Actually, we don't want to say fine, do we? Hopefully you're doing well, because fine is feelings inward, not expressed, and we need to be able to express those feelings. So hopefully you're doing well. And as I always do, check in on those around you. Check in on those who they've been through something over the past week, month, year, couple of years. Uh, we all have these issues that come up, and so often people are there when we're in the midst of it at the beginning, yet they disappear before we really are ready to keep moving forward. And so we wear masks. If you know somebody that's gone through something work related, medical, family issues, anything, check on them just to make sure that they are doing okay. And if they do say fine, dig a little deeper, because that fine is like a sentence ender. It's a conversation ender. So check them out, see how they're doing. And then when I talk about sponsors, I love to begin with CJ, Dr. Constance Leland with Level Up Academy. This is my bestie. She's just amazing at how she's always there to help, how she's there to teach others, level up. I mean, she truly is the Netflix of education. Everything she does has aspects of education in it. She is a professor as well. So professor, podcaster, writer, publisher, author. I can go on and on about my sis. But when I look at this, I want to make sure you check her out, because here's somebody that she is there to support. She's got live stream. She's got podcast. She had and will have again TV. I suspect she'll probably have radio again. And she knows, she sees things. So if you've got something, you've got a book you want to put out, you've got a project coming up, you're starting a company, you're starting a new arm of a company, whatever it is that you're doing, talk to her first, because she's got this ability to see if you're really ready. And if you're not, she'll make sure that you understand that you're not ready, what to do to get ready, so that when you do put that stuff out there, when you do work with her, that you are at the best optimal level to be put out and let the world see you for what you've got. So check her out. And yeah, like I said, I can go on and on and on and on. Hounds of business. When I look at the hounds, I think of competition or collaboration over competition, because too often in business, people are too focused on the competition. But here's a group who really looks at how to work together, even if it looks like you're doing the same thing, you're working in the same industry, same field. I've seen so many come together, work on a project, and it just became both a learning experience for them, because they grew with each other, they learned from each other, and the projects themselves were amazing, what they did. So check out Mike Ashebrainer with the Hounds of Business and see if this is the place for you. If you've been looking for someplace that you can connect with people and have real conversations instead of superficial, this is the place to go. And then my dear sis Danielle with C&M Consulting, she is an HR expert. And when she looks at HR, she also looks at it with an empathetic heart. Here is somebody who is truly soul-hearted and wants to make sure that when you put your HR program in place, if you've got questions, that she's there to help make sure that you understand what you're doing. HR can be such an important aspect of the business. It is. So check her out, have a conversation with her, ask questions. She knows HR in and out and how to help make that organization a place where people feel valued and not just a part of a cog in a wheel. And then CJ set this up. Our dear sis's daughter, our niece, as it were, Elise, she had graduated from kindergarten, getting ready for the next grade, and within a week was in the hospital with Kawasaki disease. I mean, something that's just not, people don't talk about much, and yet it's taken its toll. And it's, when you get something like this, it turns everything upside down, and you get medical expenses you weren't ready for. You have issues coming up, and sometimes it's just you need somebody to talk to. Sometimes it's just having somebody that will listen. So this was put up. This is a GoFundMe. If you scan this, because we're trying to help her out financially, because taking care of Elise. And then remember too, if you didn't know already, her husband had some strokes last year. So they've been dealing with a lot, and we really want to help them get back on their feet, make sure that all is okay. So check this out. And even if you can't donate, if you can share it, send prayers, those are just as good. Okay. So yeah. And so this is going to be a fun day. I do actually have a guest, so when they're ready, we'll do that. And what I'm looking at is like, it was time to take a break. It was time to take a step back, because there's so much going on. And now that she's here, I'm going to bring her up because I really want to go through a couple other things. There we go. Like, where'd everything go? But with you, sis, 2 more announcements. I want you to talk about this one.
Yes,
you know the best about it.
No, I love it, because we just had recently, a couple of weeks ago, we had Dr. Lucky to actually explain to us the 3 main ingredients in this elixir. And if you were new, I don't know if the sale is still going on, but literally they got Bellatrim was like from $60 to $20 or 24, and the elixir was like 35 or 30% off. So it was really good. But the elixir really is like the fountain of youth, right? If you're looking for something that makes you beautiful inside and out, and also, get rid of your inflammation, this is something that you need to take as a wellness person, like if you're trying to get there. And I think most people, when you're young, you don't really pay attention to your body, but once you hit 40 and over, you're starting to like disintegrate inside, and you feel all those like aches and pains, and that's what happened. So yes, the elixir from Bella Grace is definitely something that I highly recommend for everyone to take a look.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to try it myself. I've been wanting to. And then we have this, because we're doing anthologies throughout the year, and this is the next one. This is the one that's up ready to go. We haven't set all our dates with it yet, but
I know, it's just life, like we're probably what we're gonna do is we're gonna probably do a back-to-back anthology, right? For maybe even the 50 inspirational and this. because we wanted, and our academic publishing, I'm hoping it will get published this year because I really want it this year, to really get going with the face. But right now, life is just take a turn for me that it's hard to commit to excellence, right? And I don't want to do a half-assed job on something that I really love and passionate about because it's a bleep. And so I want to take my time to really get going with it. And if our goal was to have 10 books this year, and it's still possible, but it might be super tight, right? So it's fine. Sometimes you have to step back on your goal to make sure that everything that you put out there is in excellence, right? Not something like, oh, we just got to do it, and then you put out something that's not really good, and it has your reputation, it has your brand. So, but in the space between is I'm living it right now. So you're living it right now, right?
We both are, yeah.
So something that we are definitely passionate about to talk about, and maybe not all of what's going on in our lives, but maybe a portion of it that can inspire people that despite of what's happening, you still show up for others. And actually showing up for others is one thing that I've learned that makes me truly happy.
Yeah. It's important to do that. But I'm loving, I love the focus on this because nobody talks about the space in between. And when we live it, we're just trying to get through it. But this time I feel like we're in the midst of that space, in the space between, and we're really kind of being forced to see everything going on during this period.
Yes. And I've learned, I thought, okay, I'm gonna slowly learn about myself and things that my weaknesses and my strength, and I get to learn them right now. I don't have to wait, years. And you're like a bystander watching me go through this thing that I'm happening, right? And then like we just giggle about it, we cry about it, we laugh about it. I love it. I love everything of it.
Oh yeah. No, it's like, well, you can say I'm a bystander, but you're the bystander on mine too. So
That's right. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of activities that you're like, wait, I've never done that before. Wait, what?
How does that go again?
Yeah, wait, how do you level that conversation up again? That was funny.
And on top of it, like we got classes too. So
Yeah.
like we're both teaching, and it's probably I know it's probably best that I only have the one this term instead of two, but
Yeah.
two would have been nice, but let's make the most of the one and get some other stuff done.
Right? Gratefulness is good for us. Yes.
And everything we do is grateful. And that's another piece of kind of today, because I have a feeling there's a lot of people who, when they start looking at these quarters, when they start looking at the end of the year, by September, I just feel like a lot of people start dialing down, like nothing's going to happen. And you still, because you got October, but then it's like, oh, then it's the holidays. Well, you can still accomplish a lot during the holidays.
You do, because like you have the in between. Actually, when you're not working, you can work on something else for yourself, or maybe get ahead of the work, right? So that's always something that is amazing for us to kind of get through. But yeah, life is fun and sad and fun again and exciting. So
And Usman's here.
hi Osman, how are you? I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, me too. And today's a day to just kind of, you already alluded to some of it, because we talked about how we've got goals, and they've had to be maneuvered a little bit. We'll put it that way. and when we have to do that, the most important thing is to not look at it as as wasting time, as losing something. And we actually talked about this a little bit this morning too. You're not losing something. You're making sure that, or maybe you just said it. I don't know. My ADHD is all over the place now. That just because something isn't going to happen as fast as you want, when you want, it doesn't mean you just slap it in place and make it happen like putting a Band-Aid on something. You need to do it right. And that's the one thing, everything we do, we want to make sure we do it right. Whether it's the books, whether it's our shows, whether it's all the other things that just keep popping up. And sometimes out of the blue, and we're just like going, how do we fit this in?
Yeah, so actually, right now, I think too many people count themselves out before the year is done, once you hit September. But history is actually full of stories, right? Where the last chapter was the game changer. This is your last quarter of the year. So this is your wake up call. I would say 3 things to focus for the next 3 months is reset, refocus, and reignite, so that when you welcome 2026, you are ready to roll, right? Not like, oh, I'm just gonna do it on January. No, this is your, like, if that was like a marathon, this is your practice, this right now for the next year, right? So reset, refocus, and reignite. Clearly look at what's not working for me this year. What are some of the habits that I would love to, like, stop scrolling on social media endlessly, right? Maybe instead of doing it 30 minutes, maybe I can journal 15 minutes, right? Change those habits now, because it takes at least, 17 to 21 days to change that habit. And then projects, if you have projects that just overwhelms you, drop half of it and start, maybe start a podcast, or maybe create a course, or maybe come to our book launch, maybe come to our anthology, right? Look at those projects, but don't just say yes to all the projects. And right now I'm actually scaling down, so I'm trying to reset and refocus, right? So
Right.
people create that distance from that one friend that's toxic. Okay. When they need something, they call you, but when they don't need you, they don't call you. Don't do that. Resetting isn't about quitting, guys. It's about making space for what actually matters. And that's literally what I'm doing right now. I'm resetting because I want to double down on my core priority. That's called refocus. When it comes to business, instead of chasing, 10 side hustles, put your energy in building something that's visibly appealing to you, right? That's your main brand, whatever that is. Maybe it's health. Maybe you eat too much, I don't know, junk food. Maybe you just need to scale down and cook more at home. Maybe you spend too much money. Maybe you need to scale it down, right? Commit to maybe walking 30 minutes if you can't afford the gym, right? And instead of like posting, all the time every 5 minutes, maybe only post once in a while. Those are refocusing. And then reigniting, literally just like applied at a conference maybe for next year, or enjoy a summit for the last year, something to that effect, right? What do you think, sister?
I agree with all of that, because it's what we need to do. We need to be looking at, I love the dial down, because it's too easy to get caught up in everything. And we really do need those moments to step back and refocus ourselves on what we need to do, what's important to us as well. And part of that refocus is understanding what is going on, that we've got going, what's the priority, what's the non-negotiable, and what, as much as you might want to do it, can go on the back burner for a little bit. Because that's one of those things that it's always hard to put the things that you really want to do on the back burner, but you just can't get it done. And at the same time, one of the things you said too, in terms of looking at what you want to do and doing the things that you love to do in terms of work, that's one of the things that actually was part of the discussion in my class last night. because it's like, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, do something that you want to do something you're going to have fun at, because you're more likely to be successful than if you do something that's like, people say, oh, do this, and you don't like it. Oh, you should be a bookkeeper, you should go into accounting, you should do whatever it is, and you just sit there and go, oh God, that's going to take my soul away so fast.
The same thing too with my students, right? Like when they come to, I'm teaching accounting back to back. And so when they come into accounting, they're like, oh, I hate numbers. This is going to be the end of me, Dr. Leland. And I was like, guys, if you've had me in the past, is my middle name boring? Have you seen me teach a class that's boring? It's never that, right? Yes, we do have a lot of things to do and learning, right? This is something that nobody wants to know about, but part of business is learning where your money comes in and where your money comes out. And as a business owner or a business student, you need to know what are the four basic foundation of your financial statements, and then just go deeper on that and be able to learn at a higher level. I'm not going to want you to like, what is, of course you need to formula assets equals liabilities and owner's equity, but that's pretty much the extent of what I really want you to learn in terms of formula. You're fine. But I think sometimes here's the thing with life, when you don't know something, but it's in front of you, it's fear that gets you because you don't want to fail. But I think we need to take the mentality of failing as a stopping point. Failing can be something that's continuously improving, right? So
Right.
if you're not so good at something, but you're focusing on that not good at something every day, then of course you're going to feel really bad about yourself. But if you're like, okay, I'm not good at this, but I'll work on it, right? It's not something like, I'm not good at it, forget it. Like I did that in so many ways. Like people says I can't even draw, which I can't draw, but I can try, you know what I mean? But
You can draw.
but it's just, I think that people underestimate themselves a lot. And the reason for that's because they don't have confidence to move beyond past the fear, right? Because when you're fear, you're actually boxed in. But when you're like, I'm out of this box, the fear is gone. There's really nothing outside of that fear. It's just darkness, nothing. You have to create your own light sometimes. Just like finding a job. If you can't find a job, create one. You're bold enough to do it, right? Yeah.
Exactly. And yeah, move out of the box, because the box is where everything is the darkest. and that's where fear holds us all the time, because it knows everything about us. It knows what buttons to push to make us stay stuck in a situation that we don't want to be in. I mean, that's another type of box, is a situation that we just aren't comfortable with, we don't feel good in, it doesn't feel right, and we stay there because fear's got us believing that if we don't stay, things will get worse for whatever reason. And the reality is, once you step outside the box, yeah, you're going to see the things that scared you, but you're going to see that it's not as bad as your fears led you to believe. And you can't move forward. You can't set your goals. You can't be productive if you're letting fear run your life.
So true. But I think fear is something that's part of us. It's just a matter of once you actually step out of that fear, even if you have to do it super slow, you'll find out that there was really nothing to fear. It's just you fear itself. You know what I mean? Like you're just looking at fearing yourself. But once you try it, you can, don't. But I think we're fearful of failure and judgment, right? We are fearful of everything that people say that you can't do it or you're not doing this enough or whatnot. But I think if you just keep going, you will be fine. Now, what are some of your goals for the next 3 months, sister?
So for the next 3 months, I'm looking at anthologies. So writing. There's some writing I want to get done over these next 3 months. And I'm hoping that maybe I've hit a spot right now that will open up some time for me to dive into some of that writing. I've not let the algo control me, so I'm not posting as much as maybe the experts. Well, I know I'm not posting as much as the experts say I should, but I'm trying not to let that be my driving force, and instead trying to find ways to get me out of the box and engage with others more. That's really another one of those things that I need to work on, because it's always been hard for me to really jump out and start conversations, especially when all my life everybody I was feeling like I bothered everybody, and when you've got that, it's hard to step out. So in terms of goals and being productive, it's finding goals that are aligned. And for me to align, it's going to be around being more authentic, being more out there, and going forward with my purpose, putting more clarity on what I'm looking for in so many places. But yeah, more clarity and and getting that, making the next 3 months, the last quarter, something special that's not happened in pretty much all my life. Definitely better than last year.
Maybe this year, definitely next year, you're gonna have a bunny world. For you. Oh, I cannot wait. It's inside joke, guys. I'm sorry. So soft and cuddly. Oh my god. Yes, we're gonna have bunny world. What else? We're going to have a traveling buddy. We might go to Greece. Who knows? I'm just saying. And sister's gonna go. We're gonna go and see Sister Danielle in the Bay because I might have a line for bunnies, but oh my gosh, I can't. My bunnies are busy right now here, but yeah. That is my last quarter trying to get to know myself, filter bunny worlds, and yeah, let's create that next year for you, sister.
Well, and that is a part of it, is getting to know myself, and asking the right questions for
leveling up the conversation.
Leveling up the conversation and the bunnies and the
Yeah. Oh, inside joke. I'm loving it. I can already see bunny 1, bunny 2, bunny 3, bunny 4. Oh my gosh. When you're told from somebody you care, like, oh, you're not this or whatever, and then you test it and you found out, wait, they're just lying to you. And then you just start having fun. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Well, I went through that for 50 years. Yeah. With that being told, it's like, no, you're not that. You are this, you need to do this. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what is expected. And quite frankly, it's killing. It really is. It sucks the life out, and it's very hard to be as full of life as we're meant to be your authentic self as you were created to be, when others are telling you to do something that is not you. And they say it enough that you start believing it until something happens, which would be that reignite in some ways, but something happens, and you're like, I'm done with this. I mean, that's what I hit that point. It's like, I'm done with this. I can't do this anymore. And it was the best choice I ever made.
Yeah, we just have to reset, you know. Sometimes you know, when you play a game, I don't know if you guys play games, but when you play a game and like you know you're gonna die anyway, you're not gonna level up, you hit that button to reset everything. You're like, oh, or your computer gets stuck in that stinking wheel, and you're like, why nothing moves? You know, and so you hit that button of reset so that you can refocus and reignite that game again. It's the same thing with your life, right? Sometimes you got to back up, reset, put that reset button, and it hasn't killed me yet. So I guess we're just going to keep resetting. And then we have to refocus what's important in our lives, what's important with ourselves, and what's important to you, not to anybody else, not to please other people, you know, and be confident on your decision. Even if you make a mistake, it's okay. You're going to fix it and reset again, fix it and reset again. That's just how life goes. There's no perfection. It's just, I'm perfectly imperfect and I'm okay with it. Like, it's fine. But I will reignite CJ 2.0 and we'll go from there. Watch out, world. Watch out.
We're both doing that. And it's like, man, I'm not I'm not sure I'm ready to see what this 2.0 is going to look like, but but hey, we know stuff is happening, and boxes are getting broken left and right.
And we're gonna have a lot of bunnies. That's all I'm saying. We're gonna have farms of bunnies. Yeah, actually. We're gonna have alpacas, bunnies, soft ones, hard ones, tall ones, short ones.
Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be it. But this is the stuff too. Part of looking to the future is having fun about what can actually happen, because too often I feel like we're focused on specifics that don't include life, don't include living. We're focused on the money. We're focused on the job. We're focused on these specifics that, yes, they're important. We need to know that. But one of the things we're going through right now is it's actually opening up our lives as we look at what Q4 can bring. We've actually broken the box on what we have to look at for a Q4, and it's like we're talking about bunnies, and it's just not something that would have been there because everybody else is just so focused on these business aspects, on these personal aspects of, you have to set the goal, you've got to lay it down, and sometimes the goals don't need to be totally set. They can be fluid. I mean, it's like a military operation. Yeah, that's the objective, and yeah, we're gonna cross these. We'll hit these checkpoints and cross these phase lines, but that may be the objective, but it could all go sideways with the wrong person showing up, or with you just never know. Anything can go sideways. So you just have to have fun. And that's where we're at. We just need to have fun.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna create a song called Bunny World. I'm gonna do it today. Oh my gosh. I really, yeah. Hi, April. Hi, Homer.
I'm gonna give you something to to put a song to, something I've already written.
Ooh, okay. Okay, so I'm all about framework. So I said Q4 finish. What would that be? Q4 finish. What's the hard? So again, I want to do finish. So focus, right? Identify one non-negotiable goal to complete by end of this year, guys. You have 3 months, one non-negotiable to complete, right? Publish your website, finish your certifications, do an anthology with us, hit 10 new clients, whatever that is. Finish that and focus on that. The next one is I, which is inventory. Take a stock of what's working and what's not. Literally throw out what's not working. Don't do the people pleasing thing. Just get out of that. Habits, projects, distractions, people. Right now, I like my distractions. It's okay. And then N is next step, right? Break the big goal into weekly actions because you're going to get overwhelmed if you have this huge thing and you only have 3 months to do. Just break it down a little bit on every week. And then I is for intensity. Raise the energy, commit, raise that energy, commit, raise that energy, commit, right? Add accountability partners, set your deadlines, block calendar, whatever you got to do. Cancel appointments that's unnecessary because talk on coffee chats is the waste of time most of the time. So instead of doing 5 a week, maybe do 2 a week, maybe even 1, right? And then S is systems. Put structure in place to protect your progress. Really put structure. If you're not a structure person, you're going to feel all over the place. So try to get a little bit of structure, right? Automate your reminders, use a project board, use sticky notes, use notebook, whatever you got to do. And then the last one is habits. End the year with building habits that carry you into 2026. There's my framework, sister.
I knew it was sitting there somewheres. I don't think we can have a conversation without a framework popping up somewheres.
I'm like, you finish. What's finished? Yeah. Like,
and the way you do it, it's like all of a sudden it's there. The next thing you know is like, yeah, I've been thinking about this, and oh, here it is.
yeah.
But yeah, it has been a wild. This has been a wild year. Not exactly what I was expecting this year, but
me too, actually.
But at the same time, it just in many ways it feels more lively than many of the years in the past. Even though there's like definite roller coasters and slides and crap, it still feels like in many ways it's the most lively year I've had in a very long time. And I think that's because there's so much positive potential that we're looking at, and knowing what we've already overcome to get to where we're at.
You know, it's hard to believe, sister, that we've known each other for like what, 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to believe.
Yeah, I feel like it's just always been.
Yeah,
and it was that way the first time we saw each other in person. It's like, okay, once we're together, it's like, okay, nothing's changed. It's like this is how it's always been.
Yeah, and I like the what April is saying. Let's have fun. Creativity resides in the joy. It does, because when your brain and your endorphins is really high, you tend to do more, right? But
Yeah.
I really highly suggest, guys, sleep deprivation is something that will kill your creativity. Okay, because you're so exhausted, your brain is exhausted, your body's exhausted. And if your body could tell you something, it probably gives you a middle finger. I know, because like Susannah and I know, well, more her really, stayed up really late like a rock star. Okay, and now we need a nap in the middle of our show because we're like dying. Oh my god.
Oh, quite frankly, the fact is, because we're here together, it's like we'll stay awake through the show, but when the show's over,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're gonna have, I was just thinking of like rainbows and like candy that's like circle and like pink and fuchsia, and then just bunnies hopping around with it. That's what in my brain right now. I'm like, bunny world. I'm gonna be a farmer, guys. I'm gonna collect bunnies. Can you imagine Farmer CJ? Oh my gosh. Yes, yes. I want that actually.
I can imagine. And it has to be some place that you can have your giraffe too.
Yeah, maybe we'll move to maybe we move to New Zealand because there are a lot of farms in there. New Zealand, and then if you want to visit Farmer CJ, you can just come at any time, and we will put like those see-through dome that you can like for build a house, and then we just put like a privacy cover on it, but the up so you can see the sky at night, like all the stars and stuff. And it has everything, bathroom, bed, whatever. And then we'll have like a middle kitchen where everyone from the little huts can just come and eat in a big thing. Like I have this on my head already. And then you can just feed the animals, but I want to have like 100 English bulldogs, like 20 to 50 German shepherds. I want carne corso. I want, like all of these dogs.
You went through a whole lot last night when we talked, and it's like that's what you were doing. And I think you had like 2 or 3 other breeds of dogs, and I was surprised that you did not say the giraffe yesterday. But
I did not see the giraffe yesterday, right?
I was thinking it. I knew it was there. I knew it was there.
I want an elephant also, and a horse, and a llama, and goats.
Yes, you said the llama last night.
Yeah.
I think you had llamas and horses last night too.
I want to have those things. Like, okay, I know I'm dreaming. It sounds like a zoo because I live near a zoo and I love the zoo. I love animals, just period. And I think people who don't like animals, something's definitely wrong with you. But like, I'm sorry, I'm biased. But yeah, I think God is literally redirecting us. And I think, when you question why you're suffering, it's not because you're a bad person. It's because God wants you to learn something about yourself and really refocusing you so you can reignite what is it like to be a Christian? What is it like to do good things, right? It's not enough that, you don't have bad habits, but what are you doing for others? And I think we're meant to really give for others, just like a tree, right? It bears fruits, and they don't eat their own fruits unless it goes to the ground or whatever. But most of the time it's for others to pick, to enjoy. And I think that's what we are made to be able to help others, to enjoy partnerships, to enjoy touches, to enjoy conversation, to enjoy what life has to offer. And I think often we are chasing, shiny things all the time, thinking that, you are going to be happy. I've chased my tail long enough that I'll tell you what, I pretty much have anything, everything and anything and more, and I'm blessed, but I wasn't still contented or happy, right? So now I'm chasing my tail on bunny worlds. Anyway, I'm chasing my tail on happiness and joy and really living that day. Be present, because you never know if this is your last day and you died miserable. Like, that probably break Jesus's heart. He died for our sins in the cross so that we can repent and we can do better. But at the same time, we're repeating sins. And it's like, dude, I just did it like for you guys. Now you want me to do it again? What's wrong with you? Learn from it. I gave you choices. And there's so many people that just chase the wrong thing. And I want to chase the right thing. I wasn't chasing the wrong thing, to be honest with you. But my priorities was definitely not bad, because I prioritize my kids. And as they get older, I prioritize, something else. And now it's like, okay, I need to prioritize me, and just be contented with what you have, because you're so blessed. Stop comparing yourself to other people who has what you think is more, because you don't know their life. You don't know what they have going on in their life, right? So I really want to put that in there, like reignite your passion, whatever that is. If you wanted to be a musician and you're singing right now, but you're like, I don't know what to do with the platform, just come talk to me. I'll put you on my platform. No problem, right? If you want to start a business and you don't know where to start, come talk to me. We'll see what we can do. I know people, I might not know everything, but I know people who knows a lot of other things, right? That's the collaboration part. That's why when people says I don't like to collaborate, you're missing out. And the reason for that is because you don't know everything. No one does. And so it's not possible. But I know a lot of people who knows a lot of things about a lot of things. So why not? Why not collaborate, right? So embrace those changes, embrace those heartaches, because at the end of the tunnel, there is light. I have to tell myself that there is light, CJ, and you'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah.
There's light, and it's the tunnel can be really hard, yet it is survivable, and it's going to be, as I look at it, I'm anxious for what's going to happen the rest of this year, and for what I can envision happening next year. And
yeah.
it's all filled with positivity.
Yeah.
And being basically accomplishing things that align with the authentic self. Because that's, if you can't align with your authentic self, it's hard to get everything. It's hard to deal with those conflicts, because that's exactly what it is. It's conflict. You're trying to do one thing because that's what others say, and yet you know who you are, and you've had the conversations with God. It's like, this is what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing, but everybody tells me I can't. And then having that conversation, having that heart to heart, and sometimes just taking that leap of faith. And a leap of faith can open up a whole lot more doors. I've seen it.
You're living it.
I'm living it.
Yeah. And I love that, because it's continuous. And I think life is all about a test. You're always testing what works and what doesn't. But if you just let somebody else, if you outsource your power, don't complain why your life is in shambles, right? Because you're outsourcing your power. It's not your choice.
Right.
And when you actually let others steer you, you're going to be steered in the wrong way. And sometimes if you're in the box right now, if you're in a relationship or maybe on a friendship or a business partnership that you're not happy, inventory of the why you're not happy, right? And then after that, ask yourself, what are some of these things on my list that I can do something about? Because there are things that you can't do nothing about, because it's not your control, it's the other people's control. What you can control is your actions, right? But before you make a decision, don't rationalize something that, like, I'm just going to do it because I hate this person. Don't make decisions based on emotions. Believe me on that. Okay, I have learned a hefty price based on emotions. I'm a logical person, but once I make a decision based on emotions, more than likely I don't want to say regret, because I really don't live on life based on regrets, but more likely it's not going to be ideal results that you want. But also, don't beat yourself up if it doesn't work out, because you were testing, right? So if you have that mentality of like, okay, I'm going to test this, see if it works. If it doesn't, okay, let's pivot to the other one. That way you're not setting yourself up for failure. I think where we set ourselves up for failure is when we set a goal and you didn't meet it, and then you're like, oh, I failed, oh, miserably, like I didn't reach it. Who cares? You created that goal for you. You didn't create a goal for anybody else, right? So just pivot and change until you reach that point where you no longer are a slave to your own mental issues of perfection. We say one thing like, I know I'm not perfect, but then in the back of your mind, you're like, I need this to be perfect, right? We're a walking oxymoron, literally.
Oxymoron takes me right back to military intelligence. And anyway. It's always, yeah, we need to stay focused on ourselves and move forward, and always have that willingness to shift when we have to. And sometimes it means asking somebody else. It's like, I'm thinking maybe I should do this, or I want to do this, or I'm thinking about doing this, and just bouncing the idea before jumping in, or bouncing the idea after jumping in. But anyway, it's it's having that, sometimes having that sounding board helps make the pivots, make doing something different easier, because you're not doing it totally alone. And it can be really hard to do things alone, because then it's like, where do you turn for any kind of help? Everything has to be from your own head, and whatever you learn from an online search, or from whatever chat GPT tells you, or whichever AI you're looking at. It's like, no, you gotta have a real person who is there, and you can bounce the ideas, or even it just comes in and looks and goes, something just doesn't feel quite right. What's going on?
I was just thinking, there was this a calendar book, or was it a journal? I don't remember if it was a calendar book or a journal. It's from Brian Moran and something Lennington guy. I think it was Michael Lennington. And basically they're very good at looking at prompts and what you do. And so technically we only have 12 weeks left for the year. 12 weeks, right? And not even, because we're already in the second week of September, really, but 12 weeks, right, of the left
No,
the year.
we got almost 16.
Is it?
Remember, we're in month.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
See, the advantage of this too is we're giving ourselves a few weeks to do whatever we need to prep to get into Q4.
Exactly.
We didn't dive into Q4.
So then you have even more weeks to kind of think about and prep. So this is more of a 12-week is a full year. So think of your 12 weeks as a full year that you have left. What are you going to sprint? Think about what you're sprinting in right now, right? What are some of the things that you want to accomplish? Even if it's just one thing, don't overwhelm yourself like, I want to do this, and this. Just go ahead and think about, okay, what do I want, right? Because technically we have 16 weeks left, right? And a full day. Let's reset in 1 month. Let's refocus on the next month, and then reignite on the next 4 weeks. And in the last 4 weeks, let's go ahead and review how we're going to set ourselves up for 2026. That's really what we wanted to do, because it isn't over yet, guys. Don't sit there. This is the sprinting time. This is the sprint moment where you need to get going, right? Get that passion going, get that energy going, level it up, commit to something that you want for yourself, for your business. Maybe one for yourself and one for your business. Just level it up, get your energy going, gather whatever you need to gather, whatever juju you got going on, and sprint to the end of the year, because you can still do it. There's still time, right? Don't give up on those 3 months. There is still time for those 3 months, and those will be really quick too. So start today.
Exactly. You have to, because I kind of get sad when I see people. I see how they just kind of shut everything down at the end of the year, when there are things you can do to not take away from the holiday time that you need, but you can still take action, so that we talk about life being a race. And too many people, I've posted about this before, too many people look at January 1st as being the starting line for the race. Okay? And that's fine. It's a starting line. But unlike an Olympic running race, it's more like the NASCAR kind of thing. So unlike the Olympic race, nobody said you can't take a running start to cross that starting line. And so we have this time. You can put stuff in place. You can be thinking about it. You can still take time during the holidays, but you, instead of just doing a total shutdown, you're just taking a little bit of time to make sure that you're taking those steps. You're in motion going into the first, instead of starting from a dead stop. Because who's gonna do the most in the first quarter? Somebody that's starting from a dead stop, or somebody that's already moving into the new year? And I forgot cars. The car races, they do those laps until the pace car disappears, and so they do have a running start, as it were, for their races.
I'm just smiling because like all the bunnies are communicating. Start my day. Even my zero bunny called. My zero bunny called in the middle of the show right now.
Yeah, that's life. But hey,
Yeah.
it makes for a very interesting and a fun life. So
It is.
and that's what we need. I think for many of us, we just get into these patterns, and these patterns, they really hold us back. It's really hard to move through life when who you are, the things you kind of know are important, but you think maybe you can let slip. Then you just go into a situation where you give up the things that are important because you think it's okay to let it slip and try and fit in, when the reality is we can't fit in. If we fit in, that means we don't belong. If we're giving up aspects of ourselves, if we're putting on masks to cover parts of who we are, we don't fit there. It's not the place for us. We don't belong. And the most important thing is finding a space of belonging and having the people around you that you can trust. And as we always say, there's no judgment. So we can, and that's what's been beautiful with our relationship, is we are sisters. We share it, and there's no judgment. There might be I think you're actually on the wrong track here, or you need to wear that today. But
or really personal things. You're like, okay. No comment, CJ. You're crazy. Oh my gosh, you have not seen crazy yet, right? Oh my gosh. And Susannah's like, well, you see, I've never really experienced that before.
yeah, but yeah, that was definitely the case, where it's like, get the question, and just because I'm thinking about it, suddenly it's like, oh, you don't know what to say. I'm still thinking. Don't think, speak.
Yeah, I'm like, what's happening here? What is happening here? And you're like, I'm gonna practice on that. I'll practice on that. And I'm giving her a to-do list. You know, life is really fun when you have someone to like share your emotions, your your unhappiness, your happiness, your moment, I mean, like, I have never called Susannah early in the morning and then talk for 3 hours later. I mean, to the point where I'm showering, I didn't want to hang up. I'm just showering and the phone is just right there getting wet from the water. I'm like, wait, sister, can you hear me? Sister, can you hear me? She's like, yeah, it's fine. Okay. I'm like, okay. I showered and with Danielle on the phone too one time. Oh my God.
There's just so much going on.
Yeah.
We've hit the hour mark for this. So
Oh my gosh. Okay, we have to go, guys. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow. I haven't set up mine either, but we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow with CJ and
You,
next
you. No, you know what? We're gonna talk about, I think, relationship tomorrow. Like sisterhood. Don't worry, sister. We're not gonna go. Look at your face. Oh my gosh. No, we're not gonna talk about that. You look at your face. You're like, we're not talking about Bunny World.
I didn't say anything. I
No,
wasn't even thinking it. I'm
no,
just
we're gonna talk about relationship. When you're in the darkness and you have someone to talk to, how that helps, and really maybe the steps for somebody. I know somebody right now like who's having, you know, a hard time, and they're just like, they don't want to feel judged by others. We also need to be self-aware of kindness and grace, really, those two, right? So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. And communication skills.
oh, it's gonna be fun. The life is a blast right now in so many ways.
It is. So I will definitely have relationship and communication skills. I'm gonna write that down because I will forget.
You're writing it right down because you're also starting the framework. You're just figuring out which word am I gonna make the framework from.
Right, relationship and
Do I want it to be a long word or do I want it to be a little bit shorter this time?
yeah, or maybe we're just skip the framework. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I can't help myself.
Ooh, I can't. If we skip the framework, this is going to be like a show to highlight and don't lose it, CJ, and a show without a framework.
I know. Oh
It's
my
mind blowing. I don't think it'll happen.
But you know, it's actually really amazing for friendship to be like, feels like we've known each other all our lives. So yeah, we're
Yeah.
reliving our high school days.
which for some of us, it's actually a very good experience.
Right? Yeah, well, you know, let's see what we can learn today, Susannah. Level up the communication skills, sister. So, bye, guys. We're going to be here all day.
We're going to be here. It's going to be a quick end this time. So thanks for coming. And we'll see you at the next show or 2 or 3, or, you know, we got Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Sundays. And who knows what else pops in. Sometimes you've got a Wednesday night before class.
Yeah, true with Mike. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.